Hello, how are you? It's been a minute. So, what have you been up to? How has your summer started out? Are we starting summer? Is summer nearly over? Is it halfway over? I don't know. Depends on who you ask, I guess. I would love to say good morning. It is not the morning currently. I have an annoying thing where the first clip I filmed this morning disappeared. Just does not exist. I don't know where it went. But we're gonna pretend that it's morning right now, and I'm gonna fill you in on what you're about to see unfold, just so that this vlog makes a little bit more sense. So this morning we rushed out of the house. Doesn't matter how prepared I think I am. Why is it that when you think that you're in a hurry, that is the moment your toddler suddenly decides that they are going to rebel against every type of coercion to do anything? This morning it was a refusal to put on shoes, which I don't know why I felt like that was important, because it would have been easier for me to just put his shoes on once he was strapped into his car seat, but that was a battle I chose to have this morning. So we were we weren't late, but we were later than I wanted to be this morning. And we were going into town in a bit of a rush because we had a speech pathologist appointment. Wade is 20 months old and proving to be a little bit delayed in speech. So we are taking him to get assessed, and I will fill you in on what all was revealed during that appointment a little bit later. I've been MIA. I've been completely MIA. I wish I had a really good reason for it. I don't, aside from the fact that life was literally lifing. It has been, honestly, the reason I got off of my schedule was because we went on our beach vacation, like our family beach vacation, which I was gonna vlog, and then I chose not to vlog, and I'm glad that I didn't, because it was nice to just be a family. And honestly, it was nice to kind of just unwind and kind of decompress from everything that's gone on since the end of February, beginning of March. And honestly, it was our first vacation, my husband and I, together for a week since our honeymoon 13 years earlier. So very needed, very much enjoyed it. We went out to the Outer Banks, got a house out there. It was awesome. It was just the three of us. And that's what got us off our schedule. But then life, just loves to just kind of throw everything at you all at once. We had a tire blowout on the way to the beach. I was driving. It was surprisingly undramatic, though in talking about it, I'm like, I don't know how it wasn't more dramatic. I don't know if you've ever had a tire blow out on you before. We were on a highway going very fast, and honestly, the only reason I even knew anything had happened was because I heard a sound. I don't feel, unless maybe it happened and I didn't realize it, I didn't feel like the car was driving any differently or anything like that. There was just a noise, and it took us about 6 seconds or so. My husband and I were like, what is that? For him to be like, tire, pull over, which of course we had to pull over into a freaking marsh because we were 20 minutes out from the house, the beach house. And so we had to pull over into a marsh. Of course, the car is loaded to the brim because we were going to spend an entire week at a house at the beach. So we had a week's worth of stuff to survive. And in the rain, in a marsh, we were unloading the trunk so that Jonathan could access the spare tire and change the tire on the car, which got us to our house, which was great. When he went to go get the tire replaced the next morning, they were like, things are really not looking great on the other tires either. So that was a very unexpected, very expensive additional thing to do. Was we had to replace all of the tires on the car, which is fine. Recommendation though, considering the fact that everyone now I've spoken to about having had a blowout Nobody's experience was like mine. Everyone always says that it was like really scary and dramatic and that their wheel jerked everywhere and all that. I drive a Volvo. I drive a Volvo because they're supposed to be very, very safe, and I'm paranoid in life, as most people probably already know. So I drive a Volvo XC90. It's old. My husband drives one that's like, I think a 2004, and I think this is a 2010 or something like that. So like, I mean, it's not a new car, but very safe car. Very, very safe. What else got on? Our dog had his surgery to get fixed, and then we took him, so you won't see Oaken in the background of the videos. Oaken is okay. We have not gotten rid of Oaken. Oaken is at summer school learning his manners. My sister and brother-in-law sent all of their dogs when they would get them to this trainer, which is about an hour away from here, and they come back really well receptive to verbal commands, which with the toddler I really need, because I can't always get to the dog, and honestly our biggest issue is toys, where the dog will get a toy in his mouth, and I don't think Oaken speaks English, so telling Oaken to drop or come here or no, there's just no response. So he is at school learning his manners. The air conditioning in the house went out, and then a week later the air conditioning in my car went out. We're going. So that was expensive. And then my back went out. So I promise that this is not a Debbie Downer. Oh, and Wade got sick. Wade had an ear infection? Yeah, Wade had an ear infection. The dog had surgery. We had to replace all the tires. The air conditioning in the house went out. The air conditioning in my car went out. What else was there? Oh, and then my brakes went out. And not went out, but they needed to be replaced in the car, and then they discovered it was the rotors too. So it's been a lot. My back was a big issue, mainly because... What's up, bud? I couldn't lift weight up, and that was tricky. I've been in and out of the urgent care and in and out of the chiropractor. I've been to the chiropractor like 6 or 7 times now. It's been a lot. But on the mend, things are improving. Things are getting better. And now we're gonna roll into the rest of this video. Okay, I feel like I've made a colossal mistake because I managed to transfer Wade from the car to his crib for nap, which does not often happen because usually he will wake up and then decide that the 10-minute nap he had in the car was enough, which is not enough for me. But I didn't think. And he took my tripod, and so it's in his room. So we're shifting here. So I'm sorry that the angle is weird. However, I am about to marinate some pork chops for dinner tonight, provided the weather holds out. I'm planning to grill them. And this is my favorite marinade for a pork chop. It's very easy. You probably have everything on hand already, and it's so good. It's so good. While I marinate, I will also fill you guys in on that doctor's appointment. Anybody else dealing with flipping fruit flies? Because, oh my gosh, where are they coming from? How do I get rid of them? I bought one of these little things, and I would turn it around and show it to you. It's pretty gross. Actually, I will show it to you because I would be curious if I was watching. And let this be clear, I don't think we have an infestation. There's enough of them that they're annoying. I'm trying to think, when did I put this up? Friday, I think, of last week. And today's what, Wednesday? So I put it up Friday of last week. Do you guys see how gross that is? Can you see that? Is that focusing? Yeah, that's disgusting. Sorry if that triggers anyone. We have this one here, and then I have one in the bathroom, our master bathroom. That one has far less in it, thank goodness. Not because it's not working, but because they're mostly in this part of the house, which makes sense because it's the kitchen, but like, where are you coming from? What can I give you to make you leave? Why are you here? When are you planning to be gone? Okay, anyway, I'm gonna marinate and fill you in on the doctor's appointment. You're going to need soy sauce, olive oil, oregano. I wish I had fresh oregano. It is a goal. And by a goal, I mean, I just have to do it. I just don't know that I could keep them alive. I'd love to get fresh spice plants. Like I would love to have parsley and basil and mint and all those kind of wonderful things in my house. I just don't know. I don't trust myself not to kill them, if I'm honest. Lemon juice. I actually have real lemons, so I'm going to use those just so I can use them up. But I use boneless, skinless pork chops. Let me grab my phone. I'm sure you guys are curious about the actual measurements. I measure with my heart. It's also been a very long time since I've made this, so I probably need to be reminded too, but I'll give you exacts even though I'm not probably going to be using the exacts. Okay, this is from Bunny's Warm Onion. Oh my gosh, I need a nap. Or another cup of coffee. Bunny's Warm Oven. I'll link the website below because this is a very good recipe and I've been using it for years and years. Why do I have to scroll through your life story? Oh, brown sugar and onion powder were the two things I was missing. Brown sugar. I use a Ziploc bag. Get the pork chops open. I stab my meat before I marinate just to have like little holes in it so that it sinks in. I feel like I must have read that somewhere. I don't know if it makes any difference or not, but I do it anyway. So I'm just poking holes in the pork chops with the knife. Update on the appointment. So, went in this morning for the speech assessment for Wade, who's 20 months old, and I've had concerns about his speech since, I mean, pretty much since he's supposed to be talking. The caveat being he is very sure-footed. Like he started walking at like 10 or 11 months, I can't remember exactly. And he can climb very precisely. He can climb a ladder. He can, you know, he's very coordinated and, like I said, very sure-footed. He can run very well, super balanced, all that great stuff. And I've always been told that, I've been a parent for less than 2 years, so let that be what it is. But I have been told in my experience, having done this for the last 2 years now, that development either goes motor skills or speech. It's rarely both at the same time. So if you have a child who is super, super chatty, they are less sure-footed, but that will come over time. Or if you have a child who's super sure-footed and has, you know, very precise fine motor skills, they'll probably say less words, but that again will catch up in time. So I wasn't super duper concerned about it, but I had my worries, and I did bring it up at his 18-month appointment, and my pediatrician basically was like, are you concerned about it? And I was like, well, I mean, yeah, a little bit. She's like, I'm not. So I left it at that. Well, I want to say, like, as the weeks and months progressed past his 18-month appointment, it was obviously clear that he wasn't speaking like his friends were. And my sister actually brought it up. She's like, there is a delay. So, and she's not wrong. It was a very clear deficit. That being said, we pulled him out of daycare in November. So he went from being in a school setting to being home with me all day, every day. And despite the fact that I got laid off at the end of February, I have been working full-time the whole time that we've had him out of daycare. Initially, I was working full-time at a regular job where I was logged in throughout the day. It was super flexible, but it was a regular job. And then once I was laid off, I basically replaced all of those working hours with focusing on book and all of this kind of stuff. So a lot of our days, Wade is a great independent player, can entertain himself really well. So I'm generally sat at the kitchen table and he's playing around me. But there isn't a ton of conversation because I'm busy, he's busy, we're doing our thing. I'm just pressing the lemons on the counter so I can get the juices flowing. And so when my sister brought that up to me, I did start exploring into speech therapy, but I also speech therapists. I also started implementing some different things around the house. We'll get into those in a minute, but all of that to say, we had our assessment this morning. It was about an hour long. It was very comfortable. There's no delay. She said that he is performing above average for receptive language, and he's just at average for expressive. So borderline below average, but he's right now, his score is at average. And if he keeps progressing the way that he is, it will continue to be average, even as potentially go above average, depending on how we're working. That all being said, she attributed it, and so do I, to the methods that I've been implementing in the last 2 or 3 weeks since my sister brought this up to me, and I realized where my shortcomings were happening in the house. So I will share what those methods were in just a moment, but let's get back to this recipe so I can get these chilling in the refrigerator for a little while. So the recipe calls for a teaspoon of onion powder. I'm just gonna measure that with my heart. A teaspoon of oregano. Again, I will link this recipe down below. A third cup of olive oil, which is basically all I have left, so I definitely need to get some olive oil. A fourth a cup of lemon juice, which is honestly probably the juice of 1 lemon, but I'm gonna do 2 just because I have them. A fourth a cup of soy sauce. Can you see what I'm doing? No. So I'm just like pouring it all into this bag, right? 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, only because I have to grab something to do this anyway. I am gonna grab an actual tablespoon. Probably supposed to pack it down, but I didn't. Just gonna throw that in there. And pepper to taste. So I do still need to do the lemon juice. So I'm gonna do pepper to taste. I don't know, again, feel with your heart. Grab a cutting board. So that trick of rolling the lemon, that comes from years working in a bar when I was in college. Another trick is when you're squeezing the lemon, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but you squeeze it up, and that way the juice spills over and you don't get any of the seeds or pulp in it. Actually, honestly, 1 lemon is probably more than enough. Okay. All right, it is just about 1 o'clock. So I am gonna get all the air out of it as best I can. Obviously mix it up. And then I'm gonna lay it flat in the refrigerator and just let it chill until I'm gonna make dinner. But I've also done this marinade with like 30 minutes before I was cooking it. Obviously, the longer you marinate something, marinate something, the more robust that flavor is gonna be. But for right now, this will do. This is what I mean by like laying it flat. So that's dinner marinating settled. Okay, I definitely spoke too soon because like 30 seconds after I turned off the camera earlier, Wade woke up. If he was ever even down, I don't know. I don't know if you guys can see. I have like a welt on my forehead because I am very tired. I need to not be tired because we have, I have something going on tonight, which I'll get to in a minute, but I was laying down on the couch because Wade, again, didn't really nap, so we were just kind of watching a movie. And I like closed my eyes for a second. I don't even know if I was really asleep or not. But he threw his head into me, so I have like a welt on my forehead. But in the spirit of not being tired, I'm going to make myself an iced coffee really quickly. I'm gonna try something different. Talked about this ice thing before. We have a Samsung refrigerator. If you know, you know. If you don't know, then consider yourself lucky. Basically, Samsungs are notorious for having ice machines that break. I'm gonna soften this up. I'm embarrassed to admit how long it took me to think to do that when I couldn't get the ice cubes out. But yeah, Samsungs are so notorious for having ice machines that break that repairmen won't even come out for them. Like, it's one of the questions when you try to call a repairman. You want your snack? Okay, there you go. You got a snack? Do you want a drink, babe? But anyway, in the spirit of not being tired, I'm gonna make myself a nice coffee. I have been very obsessed with the Dunkin' Donuts Turtle Latte. I like it iced, no whip. It's so good. I don't need to be spending $6 on a coffee every day. So I really like those International Delight coffee, iced coffee things. I like the mocha one, but I'm gonna try to doctor it up a little bit. I don't have any caramel. Caramel? What do you guys say? I think I say caramel, but I just said caramel, so who knows? I don't have any of that, but I am gonna pick up some of the caramel. See, now I don't even know how to talk. The caramel macchiato, iced coffee, thingamajig, so I can maybe mix the two while I'm in town, because Wade and I are about to go into town. But first, iced coffee. First, I'm just gonna use a little bit of the coffee that I had left in my pot from this morning. I'm gonna add, this is maybe a very big mistake, I'm gonna add a little bit of almond flavoring. This might be a really bad idea. Okay. I think I'd say like, I put like a third of a capful in there. And then this is the iced mocha. Let's see. I mean, that smells good, but I don't know how this is gonna taste. I've also never mixed my regular coffee in with it before. So I got this cup from Walmart for like $1 and some change. Changes colors when it's cold. All right, let's see. How did this come out? I mean, it's not bad. I don't think I've perfected it, that's for sure. I'm not sure you should put almond flavoring in your coffee. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. All right, we're gonna go to town. This may or may not be a mistake. I feel like everything today may or may not be a mistake. Car! Car! Brrr, car! We are on our way back into town. We don't live close to town, but we can go in and out of town a couple times a day. Why not? We are on our way into town, mostly just to eat up the hours between now and dinner and bedtime because, like I said, Wade did not really nap. And that makes for a very long afternoon. So tonight, which is part of the reason for the very weird coffee I just made, it's growing on me. I feel like I need to make some modifications to it, but it's not bad. Tonight is the first night of live recording for the Yeah Maybe audiobook. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I feel very weird saying this out loud, and so I'm gonna have to try to like practice saying these kinds of things in video form so that maybe I stop acting like a spaz anytime somebody asks me like, oh, what do you do? So if this is your first time ever like logging in for a video, I was laid off at the end of February. Since then, I've been thrown into, gratefully to be thrown into, like a full-time author career. So I wrote a book and published it 9 years ago. I published it. And when I got laid off, did TikTok things, and the internet swooped in to save me and my little family by buying this book that I had published 9 years ago. I made it as cheap as Amazon would let me make it. It's $2.99. Hold please, he wants a cat. I got him, hold on, here. Jim? Is that not the cat you wanted? Oh, it's fine, okay. And so people bought the book, which was great. What I did not expect was that once people started to read the book, they liked the book and demanded more. In the midst of all of this, because TikTok does TikTok things, a lot of people were asking if maybe it was an audiobook, which it was not, because I'm an independent author and I literally published that thing on Amazon because it was free. So no, it wasn't an audiobook. And I was approached by a narrator, and we kind of did a few meetings back and forth, did a few samples, checked each other's vibe. We've moved forward. Paperwork has been signed, characters have been voiced, and tonight is the night. We are doing the first I say we. I am doing none of the recording. Jessica has a much better voice than me. She's super talented. And she will be voicing, maybe, and she does all of her work in a home studio, but this will be the first time that she's doing an audiobook recording live. So all of the book will be shared live on TikTok as she's recording it. So you guys can get a sample of like, what does this process look like if you're an indie author and curious what it looks like from the author perspective. If you are just curious how audiobooks are made or how audiobooks are recorded, if you are an audiobook narrator and you want to see somebody else's process. So we'll be live on TikTok to record these most of this week. Join us if you would like. She's going live at 8 p.m. Central, which is 9 p.m. my time, and I'm usually asleep by then, so coffee is necessary. That is what's going on. Okay, I am getting ready and like setting up for my live. Is it terrible that I'm gonna do it from bed? So I, not like accidentally, but I joined a book club without much thought. Very happy about it, actually super duper happy about it. But basically I'm in a mom's group on Facebook for like my local area. Well, sort of local. It's far from me, but it's where my mom lives, and it's like the town that I go into to do all of our shopping and everything. And somebody had asked like, hey, we need a recommendation for a new restaurant because my book club meets, every whatever day, at this particular place because they do half price wine, but they're not doing it anymore. And somebody commented and was like, I don't have a recommendation, but like, is your book club accepting new members? Because you guys sound like my kind of people. And I commented underneath and I was like, yeah, seriously. Well, the girl actually messaged us both and was like, hey, if you would like to join our club, like the more the merrier, book club. Yeah, I guess it's a club. The more the merrier, like this is kind of how it works. And she's like, and we typically do like mysteries and thrillers, which is my favorite thing to read. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that sounds perfect. So she sent out the books yesterday for us to vote on. And this time it was between The Housemaid by Frida McFadden or A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. And I don't know why I suddenly just got very dark. I voted for a flicker in the dark only because I just recently saw a TikTok about it that was like really enticing. But I was like, I'd be happy with either because the Housemaid sounded really interesting too. So we're actually going to be reading The Housemaid. So The Housemaid was actually on, yes, Kindle Unlimited, so that's exciting. Okay, well, I'm gonna get ready to hop on this live. I don't think my battery's gonna last for me to show you, but I don't know if there's gonna be much to say anyway. We'll put you here just in case.
Breathe, woman. Annie was pulling her towel off the back of her bedroom door when it swung open, nearly smacking her in the face. Oh, God! Lori was panicking as she barged into the room. Her face was already made up, but her hair was up in hot rollers, and she was wearing a robe. You seriously haven't even showered yet? She asked, glancing Annie up and down with clear distaste. I'm a little nervous. I'm stopping to catch my breath.
That's okay. Hello. It is the next day. Yes, I'm still in my pajamas even though it's noon because I don't feel good at all. And if you're a parent, especially a primary caregiving parent, you know that it's kind of tough luck when you don't feel good because you don't get to call in sick to work. You get to try to survive while keeping a human alive. That being said, I just wanted to very quickly let you know my battery died, sorry. I was just coming on to let you know that hey, it's the mamas. Wade is sitting here having his lunch and he's grabbing the camera. I was just gonna let you know that I'm gonna do a separate video for the things that we implemented at home to help Wade progress rapidly with his vocabulary. I will let you know just in this video that they were all very simple things. They were things that we didn't have to like, I didn't buy any programs. I didn't really invest any money. I might have bought a couple of toys, but these are things that you could probably use with what you have in your house. So I'm gonna do a separate video for that just so I can go ahead and get this video up today. But I will get that video up as fast as I can. Hopefully I start to feel better and I won't feel like I'm knocking on death's door. That's really dramatic. I just feel very, like I feel like I have a really bad case of vertigo and a headache. I did not drink enough water yesterday, so that very well could be an issue. But just overall not feeling well. That combined with staying up until after midnight, just didn't do my best to take care of myself yesterday, and I am paying for it today. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for your patience while I was MIA. I am back. We are here. We're gonna do this. So yeah, I appreciate you hanging out with me, and I hope you have a very good rest of your day, that you feel better than I do, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye.